Lisbon Council is a think tank that was established to support the Lisbon agenda for jobs and growth, and it's one of the world-leading think tanks in science and technology. At the moment we are involved in over 20 Horizon 2020 and Horizon Europe projects, and I lead the participation of the Lisbon Council in the vast majority, of almost all of them. All our projects are related to data for policy. In fact, they are related to the use of data for improving policy making, to provide policy impact, and also, let's say, to provide co-creation and co-delivery of public services. The domains of our projects include smart cities, management and sharing of data, food security, data market, citizen science, cross-border services, digital services in general, and also we are working on environmental topics. So we work on air quality, and we work on the creation of data spaces with environmental data. Basically, data can be used in all the stages of policy making. Canonically, the policy making is divided into stages like agenda setting, policy formation and acceptance, policy implementation, policy evaluation, and the data can help in all those stages. If we are talking about agenda setting, scoping the data and understanding the data can help in realizing which are the challenges that have to be basically tackled by policy making. If we are talking about policy formation and acceptance, we are talking about collecting the opinions of citizens on policy matters, like through technologies like opinion mining, like sentiment analysis. We are talking about ex-ante impact assessment of policy. So we are talking about basically scenario techniques, predictive models that will help policymakers to understand what will be the future impact of policies. And if we are talking about evaluation, we know that the implementation of policies creates a lot of data, and those data have to be used for evaluating the impact exposed of policies in order to understand what worked and what went wrong and what has to be improved. Policymakers should adopt, push, procure disruptive technologies that use data. We are talking about artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, blockchain, big and open data, especially public data. We are talking about the continuum edge to cloud. So policymakers should procure this kind of technologies and should also learn how to use them. In fact, the real challenge is not really computing power or data availability, but it's really the ability of public administrations to procure, to manage, and to use, and to give a sense to the data that are available and that can be transformed into information, knowledge, and wisdom. In this sense, it's important to improve let's say, the abilities, the data abilities of civil servants and policymakers in general, but also it's important to open the silos in order to increase data interoperability and data availability, and it's important to create data spaces, especially per domain, like data spaces on environment, data spaces on health, and those data spaces are a combination of technologies, availability of data, and rules and standards, and they are basically the foundation for the use of data for policy making.